Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We are in the 12th chapter. Arjuna's question inaugurates the 12th chapter, wherein he wants to inquire who are the, between the two, who is the one who is the better knower of the yoga. Tesham ubhayesham madhye ke yogavittamaha atishayene yogavidaha ityartha. Who are those? In reply to this, Arjun has asked this question to compare. Bhagavan says, don't compare. You first of all know the basics. This is one very important topic. Many people, when they study, as if they are appearing for some examination, and therefore comparative study of Bhagavad Gita. So, whenever we get comparison as the foundation of our studies, we have become only erudite or interested in the scholarship. We are not interested in the truth. The same thing happens when many people attend the Satsang. Their attention is on what different Mahatmas talk, not how they are practicing what is learned from different Mahatmas. Therefore, the teacher says, the yuktatama mataha, the best, well integrated, those who are the knower of this yoga perfectly well, are those who are committed with faith. Shraddhaya paraya upetaha. And how they are committed with faith? Mai aveshya manaha ye nitya yukta upasate. Those who fix their mind in me all the time, and this is how do they the upasana. Up to here we have seen in our last talk. Now, kim itare yuktatama na bhavanti na, kintu tan prati yad vaktavyam tashrunu. So, when it is said those who are practicing with great faith and all that, they are the best. What about the others? Who are the others? Those who are practicing upasana of this avyaktam, aksharam. What about them? This is said in the 3rd verse. Ye tvaksharamanirdesyam avyaktam paryupasate sarvatra gamachintyancha kutasthamachalam dhruvam. See, one peculiar thing in this 12th chapter. 12th chapter is supposed to be the chapter talking about devotion. Is it not? Bhakti Yogo Nama Dvadashodhyaya. But what is the question? Question is, Tesham ke yoga vittamaha, not bhakti vittamaha. So, between these two people who are practicing upasana, yoga abhyas, for the attributeless reality, and those who are practicing the same upasana with the reality with the attributes. Between them, who are the better knower of this yoga? So the teacher says, in the 3rd verse, now, ye tu aksharam anirdesham avyaktatvat ashabda gocharam iti na nirdeshtum shakyate ataha anirdesham. So that aksharam, because this is the word used by Arjuna, Ye cha api aksharam avyaktam paryupasate. So the same words Bhagavan uses. So those who are doing the upasana of this akshara tattva, I am not changing the word upasana because Bhagavan will define what is upasana. Then you will understand how parallel this is going with our Patanjali Yoga Darshan. So, yetu aksharam, this akshara tattva, aksharam is naksharati the akshara, that which does not suffer any loss, that which is not reduced by a time-space object, that which is not subjected to any reduction is akshara. So, yetu aksharam, anirdesham. Now, anirdesham is what? Which cannot be indicated. So, why it cannot be indicated? First, avyaktatvad ashabda gocharam iti. Being unmanifest, it cannot be indicated by words. Therefore, ashabda gocharam cannot be understood by the help of the words. Na nirdeshtun shakyate ataha anirdesham. Therefore, one cannot indicate the truth. We can talk about something which is seen, which has got some qualities, Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha, or which has got some kriya. Suppose I have to talk about somebody. How will I talk? Oh, he is a Gujarati. So, Jati. He is a cook, or the kriya. Or he is a Brahmin. That means a kind of varna. So, this truth being beyond all this cannot be spoken of by words, and therefore anirdesham cannot be indicated. Now, avyaktam na kena api pramanena vyajyate iti avyaktam. And why it is called as avyakta, unmanifest? Because it cannot be comprehended by any means of knowledge. Therefore, it remains unmanifest. It is something like, the sounds remain unmanifest for a deaf person. For a deaf person, there is nothing like sound. I had a friend, a Swami friend, is no more. He used to have eternal problem with his nose. Always his nose is blocked. So he used to tell, Swamiji, I have realized 1/5. How come? I don't have the faculty of smell. Therefore, Prithvi Tattva I have conquered. Because when there is no nose, there is no gandha possible. So, avyakta, unmanifest. Because it cannot be comprehended through any means of knowledge, avyaktam. Pariupasate, parisamantat upasate. They do the upasana from all angles. Now, what is the meaning of upasana? Now, here is the definition of upasana. Most beautiful definition. Upasanam nama yatha shastram upasyasya arthasya vishayikaranena samipyam upagamya tailadharavat samana pratyaya pravahena dirghakalam yad asanam tat upasanam achakshate. Now see, the same thing we have seen in our Patanjali Yoga Darshan. So, upasanam nama, upasana means yatha shastram, as per the authority of the scriptures. So, if we want to do the upasana of Bhagavan Krishna, we cannot do the upasana of Bhagavan Krishna having a tennis racket in the hand and gene. No. Upasana of Bhagavan Krishna will be done according to the picture given in the scriptures. Similarly, if we have to do the upasana of this unmanifest absolute reality, it cannot be imagination of our own mind as per the authority of the scriptures. So, yatha shastram is very important. Yatha shastram upasyasya arthasya vishayikaranena. So, this object of contemplation becomes this absolute reality or whatever is the theme of our prayers. Vishayikaranena samipyam upagamya. As a result, one approaches closer to the reality or the object of contemplation. Samipyam upagamya tailadharavat samana pratyaya pravaha. Like the unbroken flow of oil, tailadharavat samana pratyaya pravaha. See, we have seen, tulya shanta uditau pratyaya. There is no difference in the thought. It is the same. Samana pratyaya pravaha dirgha kalam yad asanam. When this is practiced for a long period of time, this is called as upasanam. Therefore, by this word upasana, what is meant is, upasana means the sampradnyat samadhi, ultimately leading to the asampradnyat samadhi. See how important it is. Now, aksharasya visheshanam aha. Now, what is this akshara? Akshara is now qualified. Sarvatragam, achintyancha, kutastham, achalam, dhruvam. These are the 5 attributes to this akshara tattva. First, sarvatragam vyomavad vyapi. Sarvatragam means like the space all pervading. See, this is one thing, please catch this. Because these things are the things which you have to, it should become one with your understanding. Like, when you learn proper driving of the car, without your efforts, now the gear is required to be changed before the car starts coughing. In the same manner, these things should become one with our system. Now, sarvatragam vyomavad vyapi. That which is all pervading like the space. That doesn't mean that the Paramatma is pervading the space. No. My God, then what it is? See, like the space is supporting everything, in the same manner, Paramatma is the support of everything. First. That doesn't mean everything is real and Paramatma is also real. No. It means Paramatma alone is real. So, sarvatragam, that means the limitation on account of manyness does not exist. So, desha kala vastu vyakti paricheda rahitatvat sarvatragam. There it is said that the gold is pervading all the ornaments. Means what? That doesn't mean gold has all these ornaments kept everywhere. No. It means gold is that which is not conditioned by the name and the form and the purpose of the ornaments. In the same manner. Sarvatragam doesn't mean that the teacher is talking about Paramatma is spreading or spread all over the space. No. The other way around. The space is in the Paramatma. Paramatma is untouched by the space. Sarvatragam vyomavad vyapi. Achintyancha avyaktatvat achintyam. And this akshara tattva is achintyam because it is not manifest. We can think about something which has some kind of attributes about which we have heard something. See, I'll give you one experiment. Now think over it, whether you can think. Imagine that you are the only one in the whole universe. Such a you, what you will think about yourself? Can you think about yourself as a man or a woman? No. Can you think yourself that you are young or old? No. Can you think yourself as a black or white? No. See? Thinking is possible where there is comparison, there is qualities, there are attributes, there are actions, there are classes. See? But in this absolute one reality, no thinking is possible. How simple this is. What can you think about the reflection of your face in the mirror? Nothing. It is a reflection. But is it really there? No. If the mirror breaks, something happens to the reflection? No. Oh, that reflection is an imagination. It's not real. And other things in the mirror which are reflected, they are also not real. So, achintyam, avyaktatvat achintyam, that which is unmanifest is achintya, unthinkable. Then, yad hi karna gocharam tad manasa api chintyam, that which can be caught in the limitations of the senses or the mind, that alone can be tad manasa api chintyam. So that which can be comprehended by the ears, skin, eyes, then the tongue and the nose. These are the 5 ways we comprehend any object. Therefore, karana agocharam, this being beyond the scope of the instruments, therefore manasa na chintyam, and therefore it cannot be thought of by the mind. Because yad hi karana gocharam tad manasa api chintyam tad viparitatvat achintyam aksharam, and therefore this akshara tattva is achintyam. That is why what will be the contemplation on the reality? When the contemplation on the duality ends, you are already one with the absolute. You don't have to do anything else. So, anatma chintana abhava is the atma chintana bhava. There is nothing that you have to do something, chintanam. Therefore, achintyam. Kutastham. Now this kutastham Bhagavan has explained in 2 beautiful ways. Drishyamana gunam antardosham vastu kutam, kuta rupam, kuta saksham iti kuta shabdaha prasiddho loke. So what is said? Drishyamana gunam. That which is looking from outside, very beautiful. But inside antardosham vastu, such a thing is called as kuta. Kuta means deceptive. So also they use the word kuta saksha, the one who is giving a wrong witness, deceptive witness. Ityadu kuta shabdaha prasiddho loke. For this meaning, kuta, this word is used in the scriptures. Now kutastham means what? Tathacha avidyadi aneka samsara bijam antardoshavat maya avyakrutadi shabdavacham ityadu prasiddham yattat kutam. Tasmin kute sthitam kutastham tad adhyakshadaya. So what is this world? World is kuta. Because avidyadi aneka samsara bijam antardoshavat. The world looks from outside very beautiful. So nice things in this world, so beautiful. But inside it is avidyadi antardoshavat. And it is indicated by the word maya, avyakrita, etc. And this is what is said in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Mayam tu prakritim vidyad, mayinam tu maheshwaram. Bhagavad Gita, mama maya duritaya, ityadi prasiddham, yattat kutam. So the whole world, which is the karya effect of this maya, is the kuta. Now tasmin kute sthitam adhyakshataya it kutastham. So that which is supporting this illusion of plurality is called as the kutastham. This is how this Parabrahma Paramatma is kutastha, which is akshara. Athava rashi eva sthitam kutastham. Or kuta also means the huge collection is called as kuta, like the Chitrakoot Parvat. So it is like a collection of so many things. So rashi eva sthitam kutastham ata eva, and this being so achalam, therefore immovable. There are no changes of any kind. Yasmat achalam tasmat dhruvam nityam. And because it is achalam, it is eternal, it is the same, it is nityam, it is ever the same. Now In this manner, those who do the upasana of this Akshara Brahma, how they do this upasana of this Akshara Brahma? Ye tu aksharam anirdesham avyaktam paryupasate. Now how they do the upasana? This is indicated in the fourth verse. Sanniyamendriya gramam sarvatra samabuddhayaha te prapnuvanti mameva sarvabhutahite rataha. Sanniyamya samyak niyamya samhritya indriya gramam indriya samudayam. So those who have full control over all the faculties, therefore they are established in the pratyahar. Remember, pratyahar means what? Pratyahar means all the sense organs are no more going into their respective fields. Svendriyanam svendriye tarpanam. The vision is there, but it is not running in the colors and forms. Hearing ability is there, but it is not anxious to hear something or the other. So all the faculties are vibrant, alive, but they are no more running in the objective world. This is called as sanniyamya samyak niyamya samhritya indriya gramam indriya samudayam. Then sarvatra, sarvasmin kale. And this condition of there is not only temporary, only on the samadhi kale, but all the time. So those whose all faculties are under perfect control, so indriya samudayam. I will go one step further and say, sanniyam indriya gramam. You know, in our Patanjali Yoga Darshan we have seen how many indriyas are there? Ekadasha Indriyani. So Ekadasha Indriyani include the Jnanendriya, Karmendriya and the Mana. So here Sanniyam Indriya Gramam should mean who has attained Sayyama. See? By the Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, Trayamekatra Sayyamaha. So Sanniyam Indriya Gramam. Then Sarvatra Sarvasmin Kale. This Sayyama cannot be a temporary thing. This is another very important topic. If we know, let us say, English language, can we say, sometime, I know English, sometime I don't know. Either you know or you don't know. It is not sometime you know, sometime you don't know. Similarly, sometime I can ride on a bicycle very comfortably, but sometime I just forget and I fall down. It is not possible. In the same manner, he who has attained Sayyama, Trayamekatra Sayyamaha, then it is all the time. You remember in our Patanjali Yoga Darshan we have seen that when the Sayyama is attained, like when you have learned how to shoot the arrow or the bullet to the bull's eye in the target, thereafter this ability is applicable to anything. It is not only the target should be there, there only I apply. In the same manner, this Sayyama, once it is attained, it is all the time and in all the situations. So, Sanniyam Indriya Gramam Sarvatra, under all condition, Samabuddhayaha, Samatulya Buddhi Yesham Ishta Nishta Praptau Te Samabuddhayaha. Samabuddhayaha, those who are no more disturbed by anything, whether they gain something or they lose something. See? Tulya, what is that? Shanta Udita Pratyaya Tulya. There is no disturbance. The same knowledge is undisturbed. Samana. So, Samatulya Buddhi Yesham Ishta Anishta Praptau Te Samabuddhayaha. This is what is the foundation of the whole spiritual practice. If you remember how Bhagavan Sri Krishna began his Upadesh, he started that अशोचानन्वशोचस्त्वं प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाषसे गतासून गतासूश्च नानुशोचन्ति पंडिता. He said the wise person is he who is not disturbed by anything in this world. And then he told, Sukha dukkhe same krutva labha labho jaya jayo, so that equanimity is to be practiced. Then he specifically defined yoga. Samatvam yoga uchyate. And this samata or samatvam alone is established throughout Bhagavad Gita. If you have got lot of time, you can do one thing. Try this as your homework. It will help you a lot. And what is that? Find out which are the verses where this samatha is brought out, in what context. And then you will understand that the whole foundation of Bhagavad Gita knowledge is attainment of this samatva yoga uchyate. This is what you have to understand. So, sarvatra samabuddhayaha. Now, samudaya teje evam vidaha te prapnuvanti mam eva sarvabhuta hite rataha. So, such people, sarvabuddhaya, samabuddhayaha, and further, sarvabhuta hite rataha. Sarvabhuta hite rataha, they are engaged in the welfare of everything and everyone. What is the reason? Because they are no more influenced by the attributes, the qualities. See, here there are 2-3 things to be understood. When we are practicing dharma, you should give food to the hungry, you should give charity to the deserving, you should not give money to the bad people. This is dharma, where the person to whom charity is given is evaluated. This kind of charity or dharma has predominance of the matter as the criteria. Then the second thing is the doing good to the needy, not to everyone. So only those who are below poverty line, they will get this thing free. Those who are above poverty line, they will not get. No. This criteria is also not there. Then the third criteria. The third criteria is sarvabhuta hite rataha. Whosoever that person may be, in the welfare of everyone. Therefore, sarve bhavantu sukhinaha. It is not only the Hindu should become happy and not others. No. So, sarvabhuta hite rataha, those who are engaged in the welfare of everyone without an exception, te prapnuvanti mam eva, they attain me alone. Now, Arjuna's question was, tesham ki yoga vittamaha. Between these two, who is the best? So Bhagavan says here, Natu tesham vyaktavyam kinchid mam te prapnuvanti iti. Now those who are attaining me, what to talk about them? They are better or inferior. Therefore, jnani tu atma evam ematam iti hi uktam. I have already told in the 6th chapter that jnani, in the 7th chapter, that the jnani is my atma alone. Therefore, nahi bhagavad sarupanam satam yukta tamatvam ayukta tamatvam va vachyam. And therefore, those who are one with the Lord, about them to talk about yukta tama or not yukta tama, this is not worthy of talking. And therefore, you might have asked a question, tesham ke yoga vittamaha, but those who are practicing this contemplation of this attributeless reality, they are already one with me because they are the jnani, and therefore about them this kind of evaluation is not valid. Now, this kind of approach to the reality without attributes, about this the teacher tells in the 5th verse. Kleshodhikatarastesham avyaktasakta chetasam अव्यक्ता हि गतिर दुःखम् देहवद्भिरवाप्यते क्लेशः अधिकतरः more difficulties यद्यपि मत कर्मादि पराणाम क्लेशः अधिक एव because what was told in the last verse of the 11th chapter mat karma krut mat paramaha mat bhaktaha sangavarjitaha nirvairas sarva bhuteshu yassa mameti pandava. Those who are working for me, so mat karmadi paranam kleshaha adhika. Those who are working for the God, they always have lots of problems. And adhikataraha tu aksharatmana paramartha darshinam dehabhimana parityaga nimittaha. And those who are practicing the upasana of this attributeless reality, for them it is more problematic, it is more difficult. Why it is more difficult? Because dehabhimana parityaga nimittaha. So they have to live with the body in this world and yet transcend the limitation of the body. And therefore it becomes extremely difficult. Therefore, dehabhimana, the body identification, has to be given up if you are walking the path of the attributeless reality through the inquiry and understanding. Therefore, when I was coming, I was standing before and the mirror was there. I said, "Arey, mirror is here also, very good." And then, me reflected in that mirror is an illusion. It is not real, it's true. Now in the same mirror, when the window is reflected, when the electric light is reflected, when the table is reflected, when the chair is reflected, are they real? They are also unreal. In the same manner, when we give up the gross body identification, the gross world also gets equally devalued. It is not that I have accepted I am not a gross body, but this world you have to take care of. That means we are having double standard. It is not being practiced. Because the gross world, the waking world, is valid and meaningful only when we are identified with the gross body. And what is the spiritual practice told for those who are walking the path of attributeless reality is dehabhimana parityaga nimitta. So they have to given up this body identification. And because of this, tesham kleshaha adhikataraha. Their klesha, their problems are innumerable, more and more. Because avyakta sakta chetasam, avyakte asaktam cheto yesham te avyakta sakta chetasa, tesham avyakta sakta chetasam. So those who are walking the path of contemplation on that attributeless reality, for them the problem is giving up the body identification. Now be very attentive. When you are walking the path of duality, the devotee of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, for example, Pushti Margi or Kashti Margi, whichever Marga you take. Pushti Margi will be the one, Gujaratis, preparing beautiful food. It is difficult, no doubt. Every morning you get up and whatever you do to yourself, the same thing is done to that Lord Krishna. It is such a joy to see. They have to wake up the Lord. And in one house I have seen that God had a small bed. And in that the Laddu Gopal used to sleep. And then this Amma will go on thinking about, see, he has been sleeping like this all the day. His hand must be paining. From tomorrow, Krishna, I will put you like this so that your hand will not pain. They go on talking. Now in that their puja, Seva Haveli they call it, there used to be a small cute mosquito net. So she tied down, tugged it there, and then now go to sleep. I switching it off. Don't get up at night, okay? Like that. So This involves a lot of work. It is not so simple. These people, they don't take food from anybody. They have their own rules and regulation. It is klesha, difficulty. Now, adhikatara klesha, more than that is the difficulty and problem for avyakta sakta chetasam. Because they are following the path of attributeless reality, they have to face the people around them. They are totally one with the theme of their contemplation. Naturally, for them it makes no difference what is happening around. And then they become unfit in the world. Like, in the life of Udiya Baba, this story comes. When he used to go to that temple of Bihariji in Vrindavan, so his devotee said, let us go to the temple. Come, we will go to the temple. He will go and stand there. And then, Baba, let us go back. Let us go back. He used to come back. One day, one of the devotees complained, Baba, people are observing you. You are a Mahatma and you should behave properly. He said, what happened? What did I do? When you go before the Lord, you never do namaskar. You simply stand there. People come miles and miles to do namaskar and you simply go there and never do any namaskar. So he scolded him. He said, you fool, then why didn't you tell me that I had to do namaskar? How innocent it is. He should tell me, it is your fault, not mine. That this is the place I am supposed to do namaskar. And do that. Next time, don't forget. See, avyakta sakta chetasam. For them, it is extremely difficult because the difficulty is dehabhimana parityaga. That is the difficulty. Now, avyakta hi gatiya aksharatmika sa dukkham dehavadbihi dehabhimanavadbihi avapyate ataha kleshaha adhikataraha. Because this gati, the destination of attainment of the attributeless reality, is extremely difficult for those who are fixed in the gross body identification. See? One day, one lady asked me this question. Swamiji, kindly don't brush me. You are expert in brushing the people and their question. Please don't. You have to reply this all sincerity and not brushing it away. I said, okay, ask. Our question was, Swamiji, many times I see Bhagavan Sri Krishna in different forms. Do you also see Bhagavan Sri Krishna? I said, I have never seen. He said, why? I said, I don't know. You ask him, because you have seen him, I have not seen him. But what could be the reason? I said, the reason is how you are training yourself. If right from childhood we are training ourselves that I am the body and the Lord is also with the body, so throughout the life you will see they are writing, they are thinking, they are talking, giving food to the Lord, giving bath to the Lord, putting nice kind of clothing and then the perfume, and then they will fan the Lord, they will show the mirror and they will have the mukhavas, everything. Because as long as I am identified with the body, God cannot be without the body. But if somebody is training himself or herself all the time with the attributeless reality, he cannot think of God with the name and the form. Therefore, one does not belong to a sampradaya thereafter. No cult one can belong to. Otherwise, in Gujarat, somewhere near Ahmedabad, I had gone. One very probably that is the some Vaishnava ashram. I went there, and there are many students studying Bhagavad and chanting and all that. I went there, did namaskar to the Lord, took prasad, took pradakshina, and one their acharya came. He said, Swamiji, namaste, namaste, and what. Then the question was, which is your sampradaya? I said, which is yours? Vaishnava. I said, mine is also Vaishnava. So why contradict anything? So your Ishta is Krishna, I say, yes, my Ishta is Krishna. But then you are not putting, that Y shape. That is, they put Y. You are not putting Y shape. I said, no, I am not putting. Why? I said, I am wireless Krishna. They got a wireless set, wireless Krishna. Devotee. So, when you are contemplating on the attributeless reality, automatically your identification with your gross body is bound to go down, and vice versa, both ways. And it is extremely difficult for those people, then for them practicing this attributeless reality meditation is extremely impossible, because they cannot give up the body identification. That's why, you will see many people get caught up only in this. Man, woman, young, old, I have done this thing in the past, I don't know, I have done so many sins, what will happen to me? These are all our mental blocks. Once we understand that we are caught up in the mental blocks, then only we will get out of it. I'll tell you, for example, one or two examples. If you go now, by God's grace, I move around the world, and different communities, different countries, they have got different traditions. Like, here in India, there are some group of people, if you go or a woman come and touches your feet, then everything is lost, according to them. I remember there was one lady who met me in Bombay. After the lecture, so many people came, did namaskar. She said, Swamiji, can I touch your feet? I said, touch, don't plug them away, okay. Just touch and leave them there. So she did that. Then she said, Swamiji, do you know why I asked? I said, I don't want to know. It's okay, for me it makes no difference. No, but I want to tell. I said, then I'll suffer. Tell, what is the reason? Then she told me. I went to such and such ashram, that ashram name I will not tell you. And that was my first time to go to any ashram. From that time onward, I left every ashram and all Babajis. I was frightened with Babajis. So, for the first time in my life, I got up early in the morning, finished my bath. Otherwise, normally I used to get up at 8, 9, 10 o'clock. And when I came out, I was feeling so good, everything, For the first time in my life, something divine I was experiencing. And I saw that Swamiji coming. And I didn't know rules and regulations. So I went and touched his feet. And when I touched his feet, he abused me left and right. He shouted at me and what not he said. And I didn't understand what has happened. From that day onwards, I have decided never to go and talk to any Swami, hell with all your spirituality. Then why did you come again? I said, she said, I don't know why, but I have come and therefore I ask you a question. Now see, this is only mental block where we are caught up. Some places you will see, if you go in the Middle East and all that, greeting is touching the cheeks to the cheeks. When they do that, that is called as greeting. If you go in the Far East, touching the nose to the nose is called as greeting. You can imagine how funny it must be. Some places they kiss, some places they do namaskar from a distance. Now these all create a kind of a mental block, and if you go anything beyond that, you are gone. And this is all with reference to the gross body. Therefore, here the teacher says, Deha bhimanavadbihi. Those who are buried in the gross body identification, they will be all the time talking about this and this alone. They cannot go beyond that. So, avyakta hi gati hi aksharatmika dukkham sa dehavadbihi avapyate ataha kleshaha adhikataraha. Therefore, for those who are body identified, for them contemplation, meditation, etc. is extremely difficult. Now, one more point. See, we have studied in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where Bhagwan Sri Krishna has brought out one very, very important topic, where he said, after, in the 28th verse, Junjannevam sadatmanam yogi vigata kalmashaha sukhena brahma samsparasham atyantam sukham ashnute. So he who has practiced this yoga abhyasa and has a result of this practice of this yoga abhyasa, then the next step is, when your mind has become extremely quiet, that means Sanyama has been perfected. Now this Sanyamit mind you are not applying to the other worldly attainments, knowing somebody's mind, blessing somebody, cursing somebody. When your mind is not employed in that kind of activity, then he idanim yogasya yat phalam brahma ekatva darshanam sarva samsara vicheda karanam tat pradarshate. Thereafter, this Tattvamasi Mahavakya Upadesh is to be practiced. So, Sarva Bhutasthamaatmanam Sarva Bhutani Chatmani Ikshate Yoga Yuktatma Sarvatra Samadarshanaha. So, instead of this, what normally people do, they get caught up only in this. Then I can sit in one posture, one asana for 2 hours. Then that becomes the highest attainment of yoga. Or I can remain inside the earth by controlling the prana for 3 days. That becomes the great attainment. So this is only taking care of the jada, prakriti. You are not touched the purusha tattva. And therefore here Bhagavan says, those who are practicing dehavadbhihi, body-oriented yoga abhyasa, will never allow us to contemplate, think about the non-dual reality. Because the whole Yoga Shastra is based on the duality. Because there are many Purushas and one Prakriti. And as long as this is the foundation, the basic error, there cannot be any progress. So up to a particular limit, we use the Yoga Shastra, it is definitely extremely helpful. But this is not the end. We have to transcend that and then enter the field of the Vedanta Shastra, where Brahmatmakya Bodha must take place. Therefore, here the teacher has said regarding these people who are too much body oriented, they cannot practice this. Now after having said this, now in the 6th verse, the teacher will say, again in the 5th verse, the last sentence of the commentary, Shankara's commentary, Aksharo pasakanam yad vartanam tad uparishtad vakshamaha. Now what will be the lifestyle of the people who are established in the non-dual reality? That I shall tell you from the verse which starts with Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam. How they live. What is their lifestyle? This will be told Uparishtad Vakshamaha. I shall tell you later. Now, those who are doing the Upasana according to the 11th chapter, now for them, Bhagavan gives a very beautiful technique. Ye tu sarvani karmani Mai sanyasya matparaha Anannenaiva yogena Mam dhyayanta upasate. Ye tu sarvani karmani mai ishvare sanyasya. Now those who offer all their activities in me, the Ishvara, mai ishvare sanyasya, matparaha aham paro yesham te matkaraha matparaha santaha. And for them, I am the ultimate. For them, ananyena eva avidyamanam anyat alambanam vishwarupam devam atmanam muktva yasya sa ananyaha tena ananyena eva kevalena yogena samadhina mam dhyayantaha chintayantaha upasate. Now here, this technique is very, very subtle. You know what happens when we are told about the sadhana, keep your room clean, and then you should give the bath to the God, you should also take, and then everything should be neat and clean, do the chanting, do the puja, do the chanting of the japa. This becomes easier to comprehend for the gross body oriented. But what the teacher says, Mam dhyayanta upasate. Now here is subtler approach. What is that? Those who are all the time oriented in this reality which was indicated in the 11th chapter, Vishwarupa, everything is Paramatma. Now see what will happen. When we become aware of the divine presence in and through everything and being, we are in meditation. Mam dhyayanta upasate. And what is that dhyana yoga? Ananyena eva yogena. So other than this reality, there is nothing. So in and through all the perception, that is called as Vishwarupa Upasana. Vishwa means all. So everything, yad karma karomi tattad akhilam shambho tavaradhana. Whatever karma is done by me, O Lord Shiva, that is your aradhana. The same thought is reflected in Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yajjuhosi dadasi yat tapashyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. Whatever you are doing, etc., offer it to me. In this manner, those who are offering all the activities of their life, including the breathing. Now what it means? Let us take offering our activities to the Lord becomes our spiritual practice. We take food for what purpose? If we take food for maintaining life and maintaining figure, then we are not the devotees of the Lord. And if we are taking food and remain healthy so that we can think of the Lord, then the taking food becomes your meditation. Mam dhyayantu upasate. When we go to sleep, do we go to sleep because there is nothing to do? Or we go to sleep so that when we are awake out of the sleep, we will be able to think of the Lord with more intensity. Then that going to sleep has become your practice of devotion or practice of meditation. In this manner, every activities of our life, yetu sarvani karmani. So, all the activities of our life are thus God-oriented. Ananyena eva yogena mam dhyayantaha upasate. This is how they do the upasana. So, ananyena kevalena yogena samadhina mam dhyayantaha chintayantaha upasate. So, they practice this sampradnyat samadhi, asampradnyat samadhi, and thus fix their mind only on this attributeless reality. Therefore, karma is the siddhanta, cause and effect. Then karma, next step is karma yoga. In that karma yoga, we do all the karma according to the law of karma, but for whom we are doing it? If it is sakama, with the selfishness, it is not karma yoga. If it is for the sake of the Lord, then it is a bhakti yoga, devotion. It is no more a karma. Therefore, when all the karmas are offered to the Lord, it becomes devotion. And in the same line, if we are practicing meditation as our offering to the Lord, our meditation itself becomes devotion. If you remember, in Panchadashi we have studied, there are two types of seekers. One is krutopasti, second is akrutopasti. Akrutopasti means what? Those who have not done any upasana in their life and directly started studying the Vedanta Shastra. They are called as akrutopasti. And second are the people krutopasti. They have first of all finished their karma, their upasana, and then they have come on the path of study of scriptures. Now for them, the understanding of the scriptures will be different because their mind is purified and single pointed. But those who are akrutopasti, they have studied the scriptures without a purified mind, their understanding will not be firm. It may be even perverted. So for such people, upasana is after the study of scriptures. And that upasana is called as meditation, practice of meditation. So this is what is mentioned over here. Ananyena eva yogena mam dhyayantaha upasate. They are practicing meditation on this attributeless reality, not only on the seat of meditation, but in and through all their activities. So their meditation is extended beyond the limitations of the seat of meditation. Now to such people who are thus completely involved with the divine theme in their life, about them, tesham kim, what happens to them? Teshamaham samuddharta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami nachirat partha mayyaveshita chetasam. Tesham mad upasana ekaparanam aham ishvaraha samuddharta. So those thus who are ananyena eva yogena mam dhyayantaha upasate, those who are thus fully, totally involved in contemplation on me through all their activities of life, for them aham samuddharta bhavami, I become their savior. This word samuddharta has got two meanings. Samyak uddharta. Sam is samyak, complete. Now uddhara or uddharta. This word is formed in two ways. Utharta, ut means above. So I lift them above the relative existence, and they get established in the absolute experience. This is one. That means what? We can get out of the relativity not by our efforts alone, but our efforts must be supported by the divine grace. This is the factor. Divine grace factor. This is one meaning of the samuddharta. Second thing is, tesham or samuddharta, samyak udharta and samyak uddharta. Dharta means not only I lift them out of the relativity and establish them in the absolute, but I also help them in remaining there and there only. Now see how much effort the Lord is taking. Teshan aham samuddharta. So when it is said, I lift them up and I keep them in the protected way. Kutaha ityaha. Now where from you lift them? Mrityu samsara sagarat. Mrityu yuktaha samsaraha mrityu sagaraha. So mrityu samsara means that abode of experience where death is the only reality. Mrityu samsara. Now see how death is the only reality in this world. This whole world is a constant flux of change. Like, first of all there is a childhood, then that dies, then comes the teenage, then that dies. Like that, there is a continuous chain of death. And this is what is called as mrityu samsara. So, mrityu yukta samsaro mrityu samsara. Sa eva sagaraha ivo sagaraha. Dur uttaratvat. And this mrityu samsara is like the ocean. What is the meaning of the ocean? Ocean, if you fall in the ocean, it is difficult to get out, because you won't know which direction to go, because all around is only water. In the same manner, in this relative world, once we are fixed, we are unable to get out of the relativity. This is how This subtle principle is told in the Puranic stories. Like one story I think I had told you earlier. The Lord was very happy with the let us say Dhruva or Prahlad, somebody, and he said, "Come, I have come to take you to the heavens, to the Vaikuntha." He said, "No, I won't come alone. I want to take the whole world with me." "Oh, very good." Agreed. "Go and bring whomsoever you want. I'll take them." Now this poor never knows what is what. Goes to the sannyasis. "Sir, Lord has come and he gives me permission that go to Vaikuntha." Sannyasi Maharaj says, No, I cannot. My disciples are not yet realized, and there is a lot of ashram to be built up, lot of funds to be collected. How can I just leave halfway? I cannot. Then the grahasthas, somebody is married, somebody is divorced, somebody is children, somebody is grandchildren. Then ultimately he goes to the pig. Now the pig says, "I can't take independent decisions. I have to go and ask my pygmy." So he goes to the sow and asks. She says, "What is there? Do we get the thing that we get over here?" "No." "What is the use of going there? Forget about it. We are happy here." Then the Lord is waiting. "How long I have to wait? Or you also want to continue here?" No, I have to come back. Meaning, the first problem is we do not recognize that we are caught up in the world of relativity. This is the highest bondage. Non-recognition of the bondage is the bondage. The moment you come to know that this is where we are suffering, then only we will come out of it. It is something like this, Suppose I do not know there is something sticking here or here on my face. So I will move in this world. The moment I am told that there is some black spot on your face here, something has stuck, the moment I know something is wrong, I will remove it. In the same manner, we are not yet even convinced of the fact that relative existence is the torturous existence. And then we ask the question, "Oh, these Babajis have no wives, no children, therefore they talk about sannyasa." No. This is the real meaning of Mrityu Samsara Sagar. We are immersed in that and we even do not know that we are suffering. Tasmad Mrityu Samsara Sagarat Aham Tesham Samudharta. I am the protector, uplifter of these devotees of mine. Now, Bhavami Nachirat Kim Tarri Kshipram Eva. And I help them come out of this relativity instantaneously. Kshipram Eva. Nachirat, not slowly and steadily. The reason is, relativity is the field of ego. When the ego is surrendered at the absolute, the moment the ego disappears, the absolute is already there. Therefore, Nachirat, instantaneously. This is what is the basic difference in the understanding of the truth according to Brahmatmaikya Bodha and according to any path you take. There will be lot and lot, they will say, Bahunam Janmanamante, many lives you have to do the yoga abhyas, and many lives you have to do the karma. But here our scriptures, Vedanta Shastra tells, the moment you discover your correct identity, from that very moment you are out of this relative world. Therefore, Bhavami Nachirat Partha Mai Aveshita Chetasam. So for those whose Chetas, whose mind, Mai Aveshita Chetasam, Mai Vishwarupe Aveshitam Samayitam Praveshitam Cheto Yesham, Te Mai Aveshita Chetasaha Tesham. To those whose mind is thus fixed in me, who is manifested in the total world of names and forms. See, to understand this Mai Aveshit Chetasam, the best example I can think is, like, the goldsmith is focusing his attention on the gold, whatever may be the names and the forms of any ornament or anything, he is not concerned. Whether it is the idol of Rama or the Ravana, or whether it is a wedding ring or it is a nose ring, whether it is imported or not imported, everything is gold. So his attention is gold aveshita chetasam. In the same manner, these great devotees of mine who have thus focused their attention on this absolute reality, supporting the total relativity, to them I help them come out of the illusion of relativity and come to discover that they are the support substratum of the total relativity. This is the meaning. Tesham aham samuddharta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami nachirat partha mai aveshita chetasam. Hey Arjun, this happens instantaneously. Now if you see, those who are reading Bhagavad Gita according to the emotional backdrop, devotion. And devotion means what? Non-stop crying. This is called as devotion. If you see our Gita place, some pictures, not here, because this is Shankar Bhashya, some other commentaries, there they will say, this when this verse comes, there is a picture. In Gita Press publication only. I think commentary of Swami Ramsukdaji Maharaj, very good commentary. If you get time, read it. There a picture is shown that there is an ocean and somebody is, fallen into that ocean, and the crocodiles and the snakes and the sharks and everything is there, and then Bhagavan comes there with a boat and he lifts him from that, and the caption is Tesha aham samuddharta mritya samsara sagarat bhavami nachirat partha. What is exactly meant is this: relative existence is the mrityu samsara. Absolute being is that liberation. Therefore, this point I have been emphasizing again and again. We are not interested in the liberation of I, but we are interested in the liberation from I. So, Tesham aham samuddharta bhavami nachirat partha. Yataha evam yasmat, this being so, then what we have to do? Mai aveshita chetasam, we have to become. So let our mind be permeated, saturated with the divine theme. This is called as Brahmabhyasa. Tat chintanam, tat kathanam, anyonyam, tat prabodhanam, etad eka pararthatvam, Brahmabhyasa vidurbuddhaha. In Panchadashi, this comes. That tat kathanam, tat chintanam, anyonyam, tat prabodhanam, thinking, talking, discussing only about that reality and nothing else, is called as Brahmabhyasa. For that, we have to fix our mind on this Lord. Therefore, 8th mantra, Mayyeva mana adatsva, Mayi buddhim niveshaya, Nivasishyasi mayyeva, Ata urdhvam na samshayaha. Now from this verse onward, Bhagavan gives 4 options. And the first option is the ultimate. Well, I can't do this. Okay, take the second option. Then in the 9th verse, he says, Atachittam samadhatum na shaknoshi maishtiram. Actually I want to know, but the mind runs here and there. Then, okay, the second option is there. Then, this also I cannot do. Okay, the third option is given. And that also I cannot do, then the 4th option is given. When the 4th option is given, naturally all the students will start looking at the 4th category. Oh, this fellow seems to be dumb because he has been given the last option. Bhagavan tells, no, the last option, don't take it to be simple, it is the topmost. If you start that, you will attain the first. This is how the whole theme of these 4 options is the most subtle approach to the reality by adjusting our inner equipment. What is that? How is that? We will take in our next class. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ